Good afternoon. I'd ask you now to take a deep breath in and a big sigh. Let the breathing come back to normal. Eyes opening. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge. And this is about developing a positive relationship to the election, and not just the election, but all the different elements that are part of this time. One of those things that can help us to do that is to have a sort of a menu book, a recipe book of different practices that we can do for different circumstances and different situations. Breathing techniques, walking, ways of bringing down our nervous energy, calming, manifestation practice, different elements that can help us develop an orientation and a relationship to the world that we want to be in, and not just the world that we feel like we're almost stuck in. And so one of the ways of doing that is to recognize our emotions. Now, our emotions are always they're always fluctuating. They're like the northern lights. You know, I remember one of the first times I ever saw the northern lights, I was amazed. I'd never seen anything like that growing up where I did in a big city. But once I got to a real rural area in upstate Minnesota, I saw the northern lights for the first time. And they're not just static, they're always fluctuating. That's the way it is with the emotions as well. We are not just one emotion. We are always a whole palette of different emotions that we tend to think of as the most dominant emotion that we identify with. So let's take a moment and be aware of what our emotions are. It's important. So let's sit up tall, just breathe and relax. Slow your breathing down. And be aware of the details of the breath. Notice the breath. Be aware of any scent that's occurring with the breath. Breathing nice and easily, aware of taste. Take a moment. Be aware of touch. Feel the touch of your tongue and notice if there's an explosion of saliva. Noticing your lips and the touch of your skin all over your body. Breathing nice and easily. Be conscious of temperature. Are you warm or cool? The temperatures of your fingers and your toes, are they the same? Continuing to breathe, notice how much space you have around you. How high is the ceiling? Being aware of elements like rhythm. Can you feel any sense of rhythm? Can you hear anyone walking in the house right now? Be aware of the rhythm of your breath and the beat of your heart. Breathing nice and easily. Breathing nice and easily. Let's just notice sight. Notice any vision whatsoever. Even if you have your eyes closed, be aware of color. Breathing. Listening carefully. Listening carefully. Let's take a nice breath in. And sigh it out. Find the breath again. And just pay attention and experience yourself on a subtle level. I'm asking you to be aware of the edge in the back of your mind. Notice what you're experiencing emotionally right in this moment. What is the emotion that you're experiencing? So as I'm breathing right now, I'm feeling a sense of confidence. I'm feeling a sense of confidence and a sense of joy because I am in mission doing what I feel like I'm meant to do in life. Just breathe. Notice it. Now, the most obvious emotions are not necessarily the most important emotions, but I'm feeling that sense of confidence and joy. I'm feeling also a relationship to concern, anxiety, worry, because I have a close family member of mine who's quite ill, and there's a lot going on with that right now. I'm feeling a sense of trust in myself that I'm not going to give up what I feel my purpose is. I'm feeling connection with you, that you and I are connected. I feel a sense of concern about what's happening in the world, but also a sense of faith that there's something more than what meets the eye, something good that is happening. I'm going to take a nice breath, and I'm going to sigh it out. Now I want to ask you, what are you feeling? Sit with it. Remember, the obvious emotions are not necessarily the ones that are going to tell us the most about where we're at. What are the obvious emotions you're feeling? What are the emotions behind the obvious emotions? What are the emotions that come together to create other emotions? What are you feeling right now? One of the things that's going to happen if you really take part in this practice is that you're going to notice that underneath the feelings, once you express them and let them go, that you're going to notice that underneath there's a baseline of calm and sort of an affection for oneself. This is what happens when we are really present. We have a sort of slight calm and a sense of slight optimism. So once we really get in contact with what's behind the emotion, we find that what's behind the emotion is an unconditional love for ourselves. So give it a try today. Remember, we only have 9 more days left of our practice together. Let's do this. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. And I'd like to say to you that behind true acceptance of what is, we find patience, we find healing, and we find celebration. I bring my hands together and I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.